Bear down, Chicago Bears. We've got some updates right now. Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles, what is their relationship? How does it factor in with Matt Eberflus? And then how does it factor in with Justin Fields? Guys, if you like the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell to be notified of future content, and make sure that you leave a comment down below. Let me know, do you like Justin? Do you like Matt Eberflus? Do you like Kevin Warren? Do you think he's been doing a good job? And what about Ryan Poles? What do you think of the overall state of the franchise as it is now in the last 8 games, 4-4, starting to show a little bit of life? Does this represent a new paradigm? Is this a move forward for this franchise? Are they ready to continue on with Matt, Justin, Ryan? Do we know? We have no idea yet. But beat writer Brad Biggs has come out with a few different insights. And first and foremost, it turns out that Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles seem to have a really good working relationship. He says, based on what I've seen and heard, I think Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles have a strong working relationship that they are still developing. I think they probably hit it off to start with. So I would think that Poles is okay, more than okay. I think Poles is on solid ground right now with Kevin Warren and with George McCaskey. Now, Ryan Poles is the guy who's made a few of these moves so far, bringing in Montez Sweat, making sure that he gets re-signed. And he's going to have to evaluate. He's made some decent draft picks. We do have some talent on this roster that needs to be seasoned and to come up. We got a lot of first and second year players. And, the running game has been solid. Deontay Foreman coming in was a great move. So there are plenty of things to like about what Ryan Poles has done. Darnell Wright being amongst them. Could he be a rookie of the year? Probably not. But he's been very, very solid for this team. So, the question you have to ask yourself is, what is next? Justin Fields, that's the key, because this is what unlocks the rest of your season. This is what unlocks the rest of your decision-making process for next year. Now, Brad Biggs also has stated that he thinks that they are going to move on from Justin Fields. Brad Biggs on the Chicago Tribune appeared on the Friday, December 1st episode of Mully and Huff and predicted that the Bears will move on from quarterback Justin Fields. That's where it appears to be headed as I evaluate the situation. There are 5 games remaining, so he's got an opportunity to change the trajectory of this thing, with the evaluation at Hallis Hall is going to be made on the entirety of it, not how people felt on December 1st. It's based on the entire season. And if you're a big fan, if you're a gigantic fan, then you love Justin Fields and you want to see him succeed. But you have to remember the mistakes while you're trying to point out all of the good things that have happened. Could Caleb Williams, a smaller version, I want to say, with what scouts are saying is more upside, would he make a good fit? I'm not sure the answer to that. I don't know, what the situation is and how these guys are feeling. But Drake May, North Carolina, they feel the same way. Now, look, we went to North Carolina one time. We ended up with Mitchell Trubisky. It did not work out. So coming back with Drake May, I'm not sure that these are good plays. What I think is pretty simple. Bears are struggling. The Bears are having a problem right now finding rhythm. That rhythm comes from the offensive output. The offensive output has not been good. It comes down to this, in my opinion. If we get 4 touchdowns a game, 28 points a game, and the defense can just do a decent job, this is a playoff contending team. Now, we haven't done, but how do we get there? And I don't think that the answer is getting rid of Justin Fields. I do think that the answer is providing him with more talent around him, number one, and number two, proving the defense. Now, if you watched the Louisville game on Saturday night, then you would have seen FSU defensive end Jared Verse, who I've long been a fan of, just absolutely dominating this game with his size, with his quickness, and with his speed. So I would bet that Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jared Verse, with your first couple of picks, would be a nice addition to this team. Give Justin Fields a little bit more time, allow him the opportunity to develop. There are going to be people who don't like Justin Fields, no matter what I say, no matter what anybody else says. There are people who've already made up their mind, and they're not going to be convinced otherwise. But guess what? You were wrong when you cheered Mitchell Trubisky. You were wrong when you cheered Rex Grossman. You were wrong when you cheered Kyle Orton. You were wrong every single time you cheered all of these guys, because none of them have worked out. And I do want to say, it's not always the franchise. Sometimes it is. Mitchell Trubisky, long a problem, had a good 12-4 season, followed by a lot of mediocrity that ended in him getting dealt away and Justin Fields coming in. which I do think is a significant upgrade to the team. However, it cannot be understated that now Mitchell Trubisky is by default going to end up being the starter in Pittsburgh, a reviving, I might add, Pittsburgh team. And if he does a decent job, then we're going to be looking back on these moments and we're going to be looking at comparisons. Mitchell Trubisky, 30 games in, Justin Fields, 30 games in, and we're going to be doing comparisons. We're going to be doing it 48 games. We're going to be looking at these seasons. And guess what? Mitchell Trubisky, he had better stats by far. But we saw the product on the field. We know the product on the field, and we can just see and feel that Justin Fields is at least better than that. Now, look, you can get by with a decent quarterback in the NFL. You're happy if you get a massive quarterback. But my closing argument to you would be very, very Matt Nagy, defensive coordinator at Kansas City. And Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, or is he? Go take a look at what's going on the field. Go take a look at the scores. Go take a look at what Patrick Mahomes is doing right now. And there's plenty of people who are going to give you excuse after excuse after excuse around him. But let's remember, Patrick Mahomes, all the throw. Patrick Mahomes has protection in time. Patrick Mahomes has everything that he needs to succeed, except an offensive coordinator who's working with him and not against him. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that Justin Fields can survive? Do you think that it's going to be a boneheaded move for the Chicago Bears, who've been starting over every year since Lovey? Do you think that starting over again is going to be the step? And what will Kevin Warren do? That's the big question. Will Kevin Warren make wholesale change, or will they right the ship, bring in an offensive coordinator who's Tommy Rees, by the way, for me, comes to mind. I know some of you guys might be on the fence about him, but what he did with Jalen Milroe is nothing short of stunning. So bringing in somebody like that, a quarterback whisperer, if you will, would be a great. But again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And we'll talk to you again very, very soon.